This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for February 25, 2023, 4 arrested in connection with hijacking of truck in St. Catherine. 4 men are in custody in connection with the hijacking of a truck loaded with millions of dollars worth of animal feed and fertilizer in Old Harbor, St. Catherine on Thursday night. The feed and the fertilizer were later recovered during a police operation in the Kingston Western Police Division. The police say sometime after 7 p.m., the truck was transporting the goods to Spalding, Clarendon, when on reaching the Old Harbor Main Road, occupants in a gray motor car signaled the driver that he had an oil leak. He pulled over and made checks but saw no oil leaking from the truck. When the driver attempted to board the truck, he was accosted by 2 men. It is reported that they tied him up and placed him inside the truck, then proceeded to drive away the truck. The truck was driven to a location on East Road near a football field in the Kingston Western Division, where men who had been waiting began unloading the goods. A team from Hawkeye Security responded to the hijacking. Upon seeing the security guards, the alleged hijackers escaped in waiting motor vehicles. But one suspect was held by the security personnel and later handed over to the police. A motor car driven by the suspect was also seized. The abducted truck driver was released. The police initially recovered about 442 bags of animal feed and fertilizer out of the 600 bags that had been stolen. The news was later informed that the police recovered more of the stolen goods. About 3:20 Friday afternoon, a police team conducted a snap raid on Bond Street in West Kingston and found 62 bags of stolen chicken feed in a yard and inside a bus parked at the location. 2 people were arrested, including the owner of the bus. This was confirmed by Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, head of the Kingston Western Police. Several people detained following violence in Tucker, St. James. Several men have been detained over the last 2 days as members of the security forces target suspects behind a flare-up of violence in Tucker, St. James. More people were detained yesterday in a major cordon and a search operation in the community. A curfew was imposed in the area on Thursday after 7 houses were firebombed and a Toyota Voxy set ablaze during a violent outbreak Wednesday night. Fire personnel who attempted to enter the community to extinguish the blaze were forced to retreat due to a burst of gunfire. The firebombings followed Tuesday's killing of 2 men from the Tucker community. 24-year-old Rexford Jarrett and the 29-year-old Orrin Reed, otherwise called Haga, were killed when armed thugs sprayed bullets on a vehicle in which they were passengers at Gutter Bottom in Granville. A senior investigator told the news that men from the rival 13th Street and the Tucker gangs have been engaged in the bloody conflict over the last few weeks. The police and the military have launched a manhunt for the main players behind the violence. 4 alleged car thieves remanded. 4 St. Catherine residents were remanded in custody after appearing in the St. James Parish Court on Friday in connection with the theft of a woman's motor car. 19-year-old Tatiana Champagny, along with 29-year-olds Cheyenne Harrison, Odane Bright, and Cheyenne Anderson, have been charged with motor vehicle larceny and receiving stolen property. According to court records, about 7:10 p.m. on February 13, the complainant securely locked her Toyota Axio motor car in the KFC parking lot across from the St. James Parish Court. She returned to find it missing. She reported the matter to the police, and the tracker on her car led them to a section of Coral Gardens where they found the partially scrapped vehicle in bushes. A Toyota Belta sped away from the scene and was intercepted in the vicinity of the Iberia Star Hotel with the 4 suspects aboard. A bag containing the complainant's personal items was also discovered in the Toyota Belta. After the allegations were outlined, the clerk informed the court that the case file was incomplete due to the absence of a statement from a police officer. Presiding Parish Judge Keisha Grant used the Friday's court appearance to advise the 4 defendants to seek legal representation. "You are going to remain in custody until the next court date. I was told you are not from St. James, you are from St. Catherine. That does not make you not eligible for bail, she told them. Once hired, their attorneys could apply for bail on their behalf, she said. They were remanded in custody until March 30. Bail application denied as accused the fraudster remains in correctional facility. One of Genon Panton's lawyers yesterday unsuccessfully made an application for the accused fraudster and the former Stocks and Securities Limited wealth advisor to be placed in a halfway house or under house arrest, citing less favorable conditions in custody. When the matter was called up in the Home Circuit Court on Friday, Panton's defense presented an additional report from one of her doctors. Attorney Sylvester Hemmings, who was watching proceedings on behalf of Panton's family, told Justice Lorna Shelley Williams that he technically represented Panton after an earlier bail application by Tamika Harris was denied. The submission, which started on February 17, when Panton appeared before the court and was remanded, continued after the judge indicated she needed more information about Panton's health status. Hemmings, after Justice Shelley Williams made her ruling, reiterated that Panton's health superseded anything. "I am recommending, my lady, that a halfway house would probably be more conducive to the condition that she now suffers. A half-house facility, my lady, is one that the police have full jurisdiction and control over. It is sometimes called house arrest," Hemmings said. "Oh, you're asking for house arrest?" Justice Shelley Williams asked. "I'm not using that term, my lady, but sometimes it is called that term," Hemmings said. He asked the court to take into consideration the likelihood of further ruin to Panton's health mentally and physically. "In fact, this is a prison, not a lockup that she is in. I don't know that she has been convicted," he said, adding that he was making a further application for bail. He said although the charges are serious, they were laid almost on a daily basis and are not murder offenses. Hemmings argued that the seriousness may have been overplayed by the media, as he asked the judge to reconsider at some other time and not in the heat of the moment. Justice Shelley Williams was clearly not in agreement and rubbished Hemmings' argument. "I have not heard anything new or separate from what Harris has urged on me, and I am sure you are aware that cases are tried only as to what is said in court and nowhere else. I am not sure why you mentioned anything concerning the press to this court," she said. The matter was set for mention on April 19 and for a plea and a case management on June 15. Justice Shelley Williams told the defense attorney that an application for bail can be made at a future date. "I have considered the application in full, and I am not minded to grant bail at this time. That is to say, if a further application and a further medical report is submitted to the court, you may do so, and I may consider the issue of bail, if so at a later date," she added. The court heard that the medical report, which was submitted 5 minutes before the start of the sitting, was a statement from one of the doctors on account of what the accused told that doctor. Harris, who appeared remotely during submission, also said that Panton needed to be assisted with a simple task like using the bathroom. Harris told the court that Panton suffers from non-communicable illnesses such as diabetes and hypertension, chronic lumbar, hip, and knee pain which required physiotherapy. Accordingly, the medical reports remained inconclusive of whether Panton will be able to walk again. "I am not seeing anything that would keep her from being in custody," Justice Shelley Williams said. The Financial Investigations Division had reported that Panton was charged with the breaches of the Larceny Act, the Proceeds of Crime Act, the Forgery Act, and the Cybercrimes Act. Panton is accused of removing a total of more than $3 billion from a number of accounts managed by SSL, including a business owned by Usain Bolt. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.